Welcome to Country Life Projects. I'm Henry Reinders. In this video, we're going to take this old garden that's basically falling apart. We're going to take it from this and we're going to transform it into this bear and deer-proof garden enclosure. And it's pretty unique. This enclosure here, you can build it almost any size. And one of the key elements here is that you don't have to pound fence posts and you don't have to use cement or 4x4 posts to build this. You can build it on any type of ground because you're not going to be going into the ground. And the way we've done this is we have our garden beds all the way around the perimeter, so it makes it difficult for any small critters or gophers and so on to go under and into the garden. So we're going to go inside. I'm going to show you some of the really cool features of this garden enclosure. So the concept behind the garden enclosure is pretty straightforward. What we have is we have these boxes that we've made up ahead of time. They're all the same size and they're the size of the structure we want, which is a big one. This one here is 40 feet by 80 feet, which shows you can build this to almost any size you wanted to. If you wanted to go 300 by 300, you could. And as you can also see here, as I walk along here, that we step up. So if you have uneven terrain, you can work with that. Although I do recommend that it's easier to shave an area level, use some gravel and do it that way. But if you can't, you can do it like we did here. So as you can see, we step up here, we step up over there, we come straight across here, and then down at this end over here, we've stepped down again to that corner. So it can work on any type of terrain as well. And one of the things that makes this really easy for making it look straight and plumb all the way around the perimeter, straight on the top, is that in the next video we're going to show you how to build the boxes. We're going to be putting them in, and once you do that, then you attach all your posts and everything afterwards. And it's once you get the boxes in place, it goes fairly quick. Now the other thing, we have these braces that we have attached to every post. Over time, that ensures that your fence posts are not going to move. They'll stay plumb all the time. With a bit of settling, you might get some movement, but not much. So as you can see with everything we have here, it's a fairly simple system. There's a couple more things. I want to show you what we did where we don't have boxes. What the boxes do is they make a distance. We have a distance of 3 feet from the outside of the fence to the inside. If you use regular fencing, you have to put some kind of skirting into the ground to keep gophers and rabbits and animals like that out. Here, they literally have to go underground 3 feet to get into your garden. Also at the bottom of our boxes, we have chicken wire, 1-inch chicken wire. That prevents any gophers from coming underground and up into your boxes. And we have landscape cloth to prevent any of the grass or the weeds that are present from coming through. So I'm going to go over to the gate, just show you a few things there, and another section that we didn't use boxes to show you how we did that. Now another nice thing about the way we've set up this garden enclosure is that when you put a box on either side of a gate, and gates, as most people know, are the hardest thing to keep opening properly, keep them plumb. And what we've done here is we've doubled up, just like we do on our corners, which we'll show in future videos. We've doubled up our post here. So we've got two 2x6s here, and we got the same thing here. And then we have a cap going across to make sure that this distance doesn't change. With the boxes on the bottom, that distance doesn't change. And because we have the gate here, we don't want any critters coming through underneath. We put this platform in here, and just below the gate here, we have 16 inches of 2x material going into the ground, and then this is filled with landscape cloth under here as well to prevent stuff from going through. But that prevents animals from coming through here as well. Also, if you find that over time, because you have the structure like this, you can also brace on either side if you needed to, but I don't think you'll need to do that. And it works very well as long as your gate's braced properly. This is the hinge side here. You come up like that and back here, or you can come up straight from the bottom to the top. Your gate should never sag. Now we have one more section that I want to show you, and that's where we don't have garden boxes, what we did there. So this section here, we don't have any garden boxes. The reason for that is that we kept this old shed here temporarily, but sometime in the next 2 or 3 years, we're going to build a new shed with a bit of a greenhouse attached to it. And we're not sure how far over we're going to come, so we want to make sure we can remove this later. But we also want to, in the meantime, make sure that no animals can get in at the bottom here. So what we've done down here is we've got 2 2x8s going down into the ground. By the time this is backfilled, it's going to be about 16 inches below ground. So it's a pretty good chance there's not going to be too many critters that are going to be able to get under there and into the garden. We also added some finer mesh here because it's close to the ground to make sure gophers and rabbits can't get through, or any other small rodents. Up here we have our 2x2 stucco wire. That's pretty strong. We didn't use chicken wire. We wanted to use stucco wire so that if a bear's grabbing this, pulling on it, it's going to take a bit to wreck it or even pull it off, which we doubt will happen. So that's why we've done this way. 2 2x8s at the bottom and the smaller mesh. We also put the smaller mesh on the gate because that's the same situation. It's low to the ground, prevent any animals from getting through. And I'm going to show you one more thing in relation to the fencing and the railing for bears. Now, we built this enclosure 7.5 feet high to make sure that deer can't jump over, but bears can climb over. So we haven't done this yet, but what we're going to be doing, and one of the reasons that we have the middle rail, in addition to being able to fasten our stucco wire, it's also we're going to be putting an electric fence at this level here and at the top here. We're going to run it around the whole perimeter of the garden enclosure. So we're feeling that a bear's first instinct will be to put his paw down low here, climb up, and then maybe grab up top here. So we feel 2 runs of electrical wire or electric fence should be sufficient to keep bears out. We can't say that with 100% certainty, but I'd say 95% sure. We're going to find out over the course of this summer. On the outside, we have our cap, our top rail, middle rail, and a bottom rail that's attached to the boxes. And the reason that we have the top rail here, it gives this a little bit more stiffness, because you put the wire on the outside here and you're pulling it tight. If you just had the top rail here to attach to, it would pull down and bend. So this helps keep the whole garden enclosure nice and straight. And so when everything's done, over time, it's still going to look good 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Final few things that I wanted to point out that are handy with this design is, one, not only do the braces allow you to increase the strength of the fence posts, but when you're working on your garden, it's really handy just for leaning over, weeding your garden. You don't have to push into the dirt with your hands. Also, on the back of the boxes with the rail at the bottom, it's very handy for putting your water lines all the way around the perimeter of your garden. And the boxes themselves, because they're deep, and if you keep the soil about 4 or 5 inches down, you can actually put clear covers on these in the spring and use the ones you need to for cold frames. So it's really, there's a lot of nice little features to this, and you can build this any size you want, small, really large. And in the next video, we're going to start building the garden boxes. So we'll see you then.